Wellness means forgiving your mind, honoring your body, and living your most authentic life while understanding that you are not of this world. This is a journey, one that I am honored to be on with you. Welcome to my channel.
Intermittent fasting. We're going to be talking about what it's used for and what it can do for you. We're also going to talk about the dangers of intermittent fasting because there are a lot of misinformation about it out there and it's not being used all the time in correct ways, as most things that are trendy happen to do. So we're just going to get into what it is, what it can do, and how it can help you. So let's get into it. Intermittent fasting is a pattern where it's a pattern where you're a cycle of eating and not eating, and you're kind of eating within a window and then you're not eating within a window. So as an example, so if you're going on a 16-hour fast, you're eating in an 8-hour window. So that could be from like 10 to 6. So if you wake up and you start eating at 10 a.m., stop eating at 6 p.m., your fast would start at 6 p.m. and then last all the way until 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. the next day. That is what a 16-8 would be, or a 17-7, 17 hours fast, 7 hours eating, and so on. There are a lot of different ways you can fast, and then there's like day cycles. So like you could fast on one day, not fast on the other, fast on the next day. So like the way that fasting works is just you're not eating within a particular amount of time. That's nothing to do with not eating on days. There's no reason you shouldn't be eating. So it's only fasting in the terms of when you're eating in a day. So that is what intermittent fasting is. Because it's still so very new and we're still studying it, there isn't a lot of research out there about what it does, like absolutely, like what it does in truth. What we know it does is it helps your insulin levels and it can reduce systemic inflammation is what we know it does. However, there are a lot of like different people and it works for you in different ways, and we're still doing so many case studies and we don't have enough information yet on the overall long-term effects of if you were intermittent fasting. So all we're able to know right now is that it can help your inflammation and it does improve your insulin levels. However, it is also said, and there is more research to be had about this, but it's also said that it's good for your digestion and your gut health. We personally intermittent fast between 17 and 7, and we find it's really good for our gut health, and we like the way our digestion works within that window. But if it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, you definitely shouldn't be fasting, and you definitely, shouldn't be taking it to extremes of, people who eat within a 4-hour window, but then don't for other 20 hours. Like that is an example of an unhealthy eating pattern. This is just, you're eating within this time frame in a day that isn't ridiculous, is what I'm talking about here. And that's the way it can help you personally. But most people have very different lifestyles, so it doesn't always fit into your lifestyle. And it also can affect you differently. If you don't have enough energy without breakfast in the morning and it doesn't fit into your fast, then definitely don't do intermittent fasting. Like if that's the energy that you want, definitely do that. Or people who fast and work out, like that, those are people who are used to it, who like to do those things, and if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, and if it depletes your energy and you feel fatigued, then definitely don't do that. So the dangers of intermittent fasting. Really, the dangers of intermittent fasting is your mental health and your perspective on it. If you are somebody who struggles with an eating disorder or any type of mental health where eating is a problem for you, this might give you bad learning habits and thinking that this is what you need all the time, and you might, keep upping your fast. Oh, I'm only eating 4 hours a day, and like that's not healthy for you. And with most people, intermittent fasting isn't supposed to work in your long term. It's supposed to be a quick fix, or it might, help you on your weight loss journey, but it's not something that's supposed to be sustainable for very long. And especially if you are in that mind space where this is what you need to do, or that you need to starve your body. And that's another one of the dangers of intermittent fasting. If you go from eating whenever you want to intermittent fasting, even a 16-8, your body might be confused and go into starvation mode, and especially if you're restricting your calories. And it's going to hold on to that fat, and it's going to hold on to that water retention because it thinks that you're starving, regardless of whether or not you're eating enough or eating still. So that might be the adverse effect of immediately going into intermittent fasting without easing your way into it. And if you jumping right into it, it also can cause mood swings. Your body's not used to that lack of energy, and you might feel fatigued. It doesn't know how to not go on immediate energy. It's never been kind of run down like that. So those are really the only dangers of intermittent fasting. It's kind of what you choose to make of it. I'm gonna end this on intermittent fasting note on things that you should be aware of. If you are somebody who decides that intermittent fasting is for you and you like it, make sure that you're keeping up with a balanced diet and that you're getting all your proper nutrients in. It's really important that that's what you're doing for yourself, so that you are giving your body the proper energy it needs, which includes meeting your daily caloric intake. So making sure you're eating enough calories and that you're not restricting the time of day that you're eating on top of restricting unnecessary calories that you need. So making sure that you are eating enough is definitely another really important one. Especially if you are somebody like us who likes to work out while you're fasting, making sure that you are eating a protein-rich, very healthy post-workout meal is really important for replenishing everything that you have lost. And making sure that your water intake is being maintained. And that's with any type of health, making sure that you're drinking enough water. But definitely for intermittent fasting, it is about your window of eating food, not your water. You should be drinking water and making sure you're hydrated all the time. So that is my 2 cents on the intermittent fasting. If you have any more questions or want me to get into any more detail about the different types of fast or the windows that we have, or things that it may do, because there are a lot of cases about things working for people, like a variety of things that can do for people depending on your body, let me know. But otherwise, thank you for joining me. Namaste.